My brother.
Oh, what's up, brother?
You feel?
That's me. That's
Man, I appreciate you for driving down, man. My bro just drove down from Orlando, right?
From Claremont.
Orlando, the area. But come on, man. I appreciate your comment. So we're gonna have a behind the scenes quick episode. So one thing that's cool about this, man, and before we get into it, we joke, right? So we call him Jose, but you do have a different name. I just can't put it down. So I'm gonna let you inform the people.
It's Jota R, but Jota R basically is JR.
Okay.
But it's spelled Jayr. But in Spanish. So Jota, that's why. But
okay.
Man, Jose is perfect, man.
Okay, so Jose, but brother, again, I appreciate you. But man, what we're gonna do, right? He has a secret. It's not even a secret, but he has a talent, man. He's about to grace this stage. This is the first time we've done this, right? We've had artists here before, but nobody got on the stage and gave it to us. So it's the first. It's the first. So it's behind the scenes, brother. But before we get in, just the behind the scenes.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to music, right? What does music mean to you, brother?
Man, music is. I mean, it's just a outlet to get inside of anyone. It's the best way to express that, man. That it's a way that we can reach people who don't even want to be reached. They hear a song, they hear music, they hear a frequency, and a melody, something that can shift their inner being, man. So for me, that's how I use it, at least. So yeah, man, it's a great tool to have. It's a very international language.
I love it. So the people are about to hear you, right? Some people that may never heard any music from you, they're gonna hear you when you get on the stage. What is your hope? Every time you put music out, you put songs out, what is your hope when somebody hits your music?
Man, my hope is simple, man. It's awareness. I believe healing doesn't take time; it takes awareness. So I believe that there's something that you'll hear in the song that'll trigger something inside of you and be like, man, you know what? Man, what he said, that makes sense, and it'll shift something inside of you. So that's where the healing comes in. You're hearing something that brings that awareness, that brings then that transformation in your life. So I hope that happens to you.
Yeah, we ain't gonna give you too much more. Now, awareness. We're gonna stick there. We're gonna say awareness. He gonna get on the stage, and after that, we're gonna have a sit down. We're gonna get a little deeper into this, man. Let's go, y'all.
Let's go.
It means a lot. Now, seriously though, when it comes to this, bro, there's some power in the story, and I know you know that. But I hope that somebody that watches this, something happens, like the weirdest people see, right? Something triggers in them after this episode that makes them want to move. And if that happens, bro.
Yo, so this song is called Impact for a reason, man. I believe we all here to impact someone's life. I believe that fulfillment is found through serving other people, which is impact. So here we go. Hey. You're gonna basically declare I'm here to impact someone's life. You're gonna tell your name when you're here to impact someone's life. And then we're gonna declare that we are here to impact someone's life. Hey, I'm here to impact someone's life. You're here to impact someone's life. We're here to impact someone's life. And that is the real meaning of our life. I'm here to impact someone's life. You are. You're here to impact someone's life. We're here to impact someone's life. And that is the real meaning. Listen. And life is much more than we imagine. Many people are hoping for expensive cars and big mansions. They want to experience life without taking some actions. Want to free ride from others, they want some satisfaction. In this game of life, we only have one chance to make it. When your time's up, everything is stripped like you naked. Take it until you make it, it's the way some people take it. Others make conscious decisions to live life fully wasted. They acknowledge that your life is created with purpose. It doesn't matter how many lines or hot the burn is. But God, every message becomes a message, that's for certain. You have a voice, a gift, a talent, and that's just a servant. You'll be surprised how many people relate to your story. When you understand that your test becomes your testimony. I got stories for days in different categories. Some unbelievable ones that only God can get the glory. I'm here to impact someone's life. You're here to impact someone's life. We're here to impact someone's life. And that is the real meaning of our life. I'm here to impact someone's life. You're here to impact someone's life. We're here to impact someone's life, and that is the real meaning. Listen up. Hey, in order to impact someone's life in a positive way, you must just impact your own life in a genuine way. You have to show with your actions, not what you say. Now you can create in others a delay, even lead them astray. You have to be aware when it's your conscience. This ain't no popularity show, life in a contest. Everyone tries to perform and tries to flash the hardest, really empty inside. But they say try hard regardless. Some people come into your life for a moment, a day, a lifetime. The time to spend with you don't matter. They sue in your right mind, a mind to make a difference. Give them value, wake them up from the neck up, build them up and success, you stood them up. You're a part of a puzzle, someone's life. Never forget that. You may never know what you think, but stay ready to impact. Somebody's life will be completed. Without you in it, could be a minute, but the freedom to impact, you won't regret it. I promise, I'm here to impact someone's life. You are here to impact someone's life. We here to impact someone's life, and that is the real meaning of our lives. I'm here to impact someone's life. You're here to impact someone's life. We're here to impact someone's life, and that is the real meaning of our life. Just know that, man. Yeah. That you're here to impact someone's life. I promise that when you feel great is when someone said thank you to you. And if you ever heard thank you and you felt that goodness, that means that you impacted someone's life, whether you did it consciously or unconsciously. So one more time, we're gonna declare this, man. Let's go. Let's say, I'm here to impact someone's life. I don't remind you that you're here to impact someone's life. We're here to impact someone's life, and that is the real meaning of our lives.
We here to impact someone's life.
Hey.
We here to impact someone's life. Hey, man, y'all know what time it is, man. Welcome, world. Welcome, family, to another episode of the EL2A Podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Gilmore Jr., and y'all already know if you're watching this episode, you just heard it. He's here to impact someone's life. You here to impact someone's life. I got the brother, Mr. Jose, with me today. How you doing, brother?
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I'm good. Excited, man. Excited to chop it up, man, and see what God does, man.
And he's going to move today. I can already tell how we started it off. You blessed the stage, man. And I want to get right to before we get right into it, hey, start what you're doing, like, subscribe, and comment.
Let's go,
right?
yes.
Start what you're doing, like, subscribe, and comment. I know my brother's going to bring a lot of people to this episode, right? And all I want you to know, when you land on this platform, man, we're purely about education, right? You can go to other platforms to get entertained, but when you get here, you're going to get the education, man. Our goal is to help you, to push you forward to whatever goal you're trying to reach through stories that's been shared on this podcast, man. So the EL2A Podcast. But to get right back into it, I'm going to shift off that and get back into the story, brother. We started off, I'm here to impact someone's life.
Yeah.
You here to impact someone's life. When you kicked that, brother, that was so powerful and it impacted me. And I started thinking about, man, I'm here to impact someone's life. What does that look like? When you say those lyrics, what does that mean for you?
Oh, man. Thank you, first of all, for having me here. Definitely like and subscribe, brother. Connect, man.
Look.
Man, impact. I believe it. I mean, it's what we all looking for, man. So, what it means for me is fulfillment. And I think that's the best word to add to that is fulfillment, man. I believe we all were put in this earth for a reason. And D1 is to impact other people's life. We all go through a lot of stuff, painful stuff, but it's not only for our own personal satisfaction, for our own personal healing, but it's really catered to impact other people's life, you know what I mean? So people can relate to what we have experienced, and that's how they get transformed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I love it. And when you think about this whole journey of life, man, even talking to you on the phone, one word that stuck out to me, and you may have said this, I may have said it, but creative, right?
Yes.
Or creator. I think you may have identified yourself as that, and you're just creative. I like to help people. I like to plug in. I think God put everyone to be here to be creative, right? Where did that journey start for you? Like when you think of the creative journey, where did that begin for you?
Man, I feel like I've been creative for forever, man. Since I was 6 years old, I've been playing basketball. Okay. But I would stand out in the field, especially in Puerto Rico. I represented Puerto Rico in the States. Coming here, being a freshman, playing varsity, music, breakdancing. Like I was able to pick up things quick, you know what I mean? And then soon I discovered that God created three things.
What's that?
God created creation, right? The land, water, creatures, animals, beasts, seas, you know, and creators like you and I.
That's dope.
Right? If we looked at God as a provider, He's love, He's all of that. But I feel like most people miss the very first quality that He showed us. He created. So, you know, I think, you know, just like what happened to Adam and Eve, man, Eve got focused on lack. We focus on lack so much that we forget all the abundance that we actually have to create, to then, you know, whether it's to provide for yourself, you know, create other impact for other people, whatever it is. But creativity for me is, we all have it. We all have it. Just some people, you know, they feel like they don't. Well, I believe we all solve problems. That's creative. We deal with kids. You gotta get creative on how to educate them. You know, your spouse, you know, how to influence somebody else. Like, that's all creativity. Most people think it's a form of art, But creativity is a whole different ballgame, man.
I love that, brother. You walking up down my alley, man. My life goal, right, is to push people to own their greatness, right? To go towards the greatness that God created them. Even when you think about being a creator, you think about greatness. I think everybody, God gave everyone a gift, and I think you will understand that as well, or you would agree with that when you think about that. But most people aren't using.
They don't tap in. Yeah.
Why is that?
Distractions, man.
Yeah.
Just to keep it, that's a foundational thing, man. Is distractions, man. Pain, man. Pain causes people to get distracted, man. At the end of the day, I believe, one of those songs I got called Illusion. I used to say, what's wrong with me? Get that frustration. But at the end of the day, man, the one thing we control is where we put our attention, right? So when we put our attention on lack, or we put our attention on the problem, so-called problems, that might cause a future anxiety or past depression, and we miss the piece that's always here now. Like right now, whoever's watching this, if they're watching this, there's nothing wrong. But in their head, they might be thinking about this future thing, this future outcome that is undesirable to them, or this past thing
Yeah.
When right now, if you're listening to, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You're here listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So I think that foundation helped me a lot to understand that, man. That, look, there's nothing wrong ever in the present moment, and the more we could be present, the more we could be in His presence, and the more we could, kind of show our essence of who we are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's silence and noise, man. So my background is sports, right?
Yeah.
You think about an athlete, man. You're in these stadiums full of people, right? But you have to focus in. So you silence and noise, like the man in the arena.
Yeah.
That's easier said than done, right? So everything you just said, that's cool, but it's easier said than done because you understand how our minds work. So for you, how are you able to do that? What helps you to silence the noise?
Man, listening, and I like you said, it's easier said than done. But I believe listening, man. Listening is so important, man. I think, we talk about communication a lot. How do you communicate? But I think more important than communicating is how you listen.
Yeah.
And I have a thing I call LUV. Listen, understand, and validate. Listen, understand, LUV, which is love. Unconditional love of other people. A lot of time our pain comes from we're hearing someone, we're listening to someone, but because it contradicts our belief and what we think, how we think it should be, how we think, you should talk, how we think you should be acting, then we judge that person. And then while we judge them, then we make it personal. And now we're in pain.
Yeah.
And now we're going to act a certain different way than what we should because we're judging this person because we ain't listening correct. We're listening with our shame filter, you know what I'm saying?
What's up?
So that has helped me a lot, man. Not only listening to other people, but listening to like me, listening to God, like taking time to be in a quiet place. I used to pray a lot, but now instead of praying a lot, I still pray, but now I listen a lot.
Yeah.
I listen a lot more than I pray, so I can hear the whispers. I can hear my heart, my heartbeat. I can hear what's happening in my, in life, and what is it that God wants? Because at the end of the day, He gives you what you need, not what you want.
Yeah.
But then His will becomes your will if you're okay with doing His will. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of social and emotional learning going on.
It is.
A lot of that. And that's, again, another thing. Easier said than done.
It is.
So especially in the space I'm in, working with youth, man, work with young men. And we do a lot of anger management work, anger management, conflict resolution. Right. And everything you're saying, I hear, again, silencing the noise, being still, listening to your heartbeat, all these different things. It takes that time to pause. And we teach kids these techniques. Yeah. But even me, I was a kid once too. These days, we're adults up here. We can talk this, but sometimes I like to spin it back and talk to our youth, man. So what age did this click for you? Everything you're telling me, like, what did this click for you?
That was late, man. That was late, man. I think I wasted but I spent 26 years very wrong.
Yeah.
Per se. God had a purpose, but regardless, but 26 years that I did some of the stuff that I should not be doing.
For sure.
And then eventually, man, I came into Christ, man, and that kind of started my shift.
Yeah.
And even then, there was still something that resonate. There's a word in Romans 12:2 that says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, so you can know what God's good, pleasing, and acceptable will is." And I'm like, man, I want to know what God's good, pleasing, and acceptable will is.
Yeah.
But regardless, man, it was like, how do you renew your mind?
Yeah.
That was a question. It was like, I hear this. Many people hear it, but how do you actually renew your mind? So then what I understood was that it's really two things. It's either it's three now, but it's what you see and what you hear. those are the two biggest influences. But now, obviously, got to learn some stuff afterward, which is you already have this pain from your upbringing, parents that they already have all this pain inside of you. So there's three things that influence you.
Yeah.
How your lifestyle, your upbringing, what you hear, and what you see. Right. So if I become intentional with at least what I see and what I hear, then that's gonna cause my thoughts, right? And then my thoughts become my words, action, habits, character, destiny. Yeah. But it all starts with my thought process. So, in order to me to not even take captive the thoughts, but to help my thoughts and program my thoughts, I need to make sure that I'm listening to the right thing and that I'm using my 24 hours wisely, or intentionally will be the word. Yeah. So even when I talk to kids, it's like, man, what do you do with your 24 hours? Right. We got a youth program, FTU, and we in 13 weeks in right now, every Wednesday. And our last class was time and habits. And he's like, all right, look at your clock, draw your clock. All right, cool. What's the 24 hours? Sleep, school, and then like, all right, damn, I'm not really doing anything that's giving me anything. Everything is taken away. Yeah. All right. So it's just helping them get that awareness. Like, man, you have only 24 hours. What are you doing with them? You know what I mean? So when I discovered that, and especially being intentional, that's something that I really live by, man. How can I be intentional with my next hour? Yeah. And I might be OD. I got an alarm remind me, but I try to tell people, like, put the alarm on, man, because we easily get distracted. It's easier said than done. Absolutely. Yeah. So
now, I like this. So one thing that just touched, or two words, that what you see, what you hear, right? What you see, what you hear. You said in your 26 years of life, you kind of, it was time you wish, you say you wish you could get back, but you could have said you could have been doing better things at that time. So I can assume that what you saw and what you heard leading up to that time was more so shape that activity. Thinking back to that time, if you could pick up, what I'm putting down, thinking back to that time, what you saw, what you heard, what could you have done differently? Even though what you saw or what you heard was shaping that, what could you have consciously said, I'm going to do differently to not make that your reality, even though you were seeing it, you were hearing it?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. What could I have done differently? Yeah. Well, I mean, if I knew what I knew, I knew what I knew. Facts. But it would have been how I used my time. Yeah. I had gifts then. I lost 5 scholarships because of GPA, like stuff that I wasn't really aware of. Yeah. Because I had nobody in my corner. Like it wasn't cool back then. To have somebody speaking some life into you. At least in my circle. Yeah. We want to hear the other stuff. You know what I mean? So just being more open-minded will be a thing. Being more open-minded to I don't know it all. And I'm willing to learn from someone else, especially someone who's lived it, who's experienced it. I think I would have been. I would have made. I tell the kids all the time, man. I wish I had somebody at my age, your age, telling me what I'm telling. Man, I wish. Yeah.
So think about this. So I'm going to move forward from that. When we were on the phone call, I was just talking to you. I was like, bro, and ask you what are you into now? And obviously music, right? And you start naming some other things. So basically like a coach, you help entrepreneurs, you do different things. And I started thinking about it, man. It's like, and you start naming some other things too. And it's like, man, it's a jack of all trades, right? And there's a term out there. I don't know if you ever heard this, jack of all trades, master of none. When you think about what you do, from music to putting your time, you know what I mean? You jump into different things. Do you agree with that terminology, like jack of all trades, master of none? Do you agree with that?
Man, not anymore. Yeah, I used to, man.
Why not?
Used to, man.
Talk to me.
But again, what I discovered that what I did master was creativity. Yeah. What I master is learning. We all have that gift, which is learning. We feel like we don't because we just want to be special one thing per se, which is cool. You can master one thing, but why not master a few? Yeah. So it's not that I'm a jack of all trade, like I'm here. No, it's that I master this one first for a season. Yeah. All right, this one's done. What's the next one? Yeah. Master that one. All right, that one's done. What's the next one? Yeah. Master that, and then now I put it all together, and it looks like I'm a jack of all trade, but at the core, I'm just a creative being, man. And we all have that to master. You know what I mean? So that brought some freedom to me because I used to believe that saying, but again, somebody's opinion doesn't make it a reality. So when I started really digging in, I'm like, wait, well, I'm having success. I've been on this for 15 years. I ain't had to clock in nowhere. Like, I homeschool my kids. Like, I'm living exactly everything that I want to live. And why? Okay, so this might be wrong. You know what I mean? So then when I challenge, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, no, creativity. That's what I mastered. Creativity.
I love it. Oh, think about this, brother. And I probably should did this in the beginning, but if you could, we're gonna slow it down, right? If you can, in your own words, right? Who is Jose?
Right.
All right, and explain to the people what you do.
Right. All right, man. Who am I? I'm a Puerto Rican young man. Keep it there. A Puerto Rican young man, who loves people, who loves helping others, who love impacting people's life. I really cater to people who have a mission, or that I see a potential in them, and they just kind of trying to figure it out. I'm able to get clarity, by listening. Same thing, man. The same thing that they can do. Just getting clarity on based on my gifts and talents, or what I've learned. I'm able to bring that to the table. So I like to say that I help overwhelmed, anxious, creative entrepreneurs to find really peace of mind and clarity, so they can live in fulfillment without wasting time. We all have the same 24 hours. I'm no different than you are. I'm no different than anyone watching this. But it's what you do with your time that really matters, and how intentional you become with it. It really determines, what the success looks like. What I mean?
Yeah, a word that you say a lot that sums that up is awareness, right?
Awareness.
So being aware of everything that you just said. Yeah. So you use that word a lot. So explain to me, what does awareness mean to you, and why is it important?
Man, awareness is like discovery, man. Yeah. I believe, again, the healing doesn't take time. It takes awareness. Just like a trauma, it happens immediately. You get shot out or whatever, car flipping. This is some of the stuff that happened to me.
Yeah. And
as soon as I get out that car and flip, and I'm crawling out the car, I'm like, oh, this happened.
Yeah.
My boy, broken my neck. Like, this really happened. Trauma happens immediately. And for years, I used to think that healing also took time, but it really just takes, knowing the truth, having awareness. Know your truth. The truth set you free. And once you know the truth, like, it just shifts something in your inside, man. That now you start. You could be in the same place, but now it looks totally different. Yeah. You could be with the same homies, but now you act different. You speak different because of a bit of awareness that you have, man. So for me, that's been a huge, freedom.
Yeah. When did your mindset shift to that? So shift to that awareness.
Man, what's we 2016.
Yeah.
2016.
What happened in 2016?
2016 was a real good shift for me, man. I come from being a youth pastor, associate pastor. We getting ready to focus on my son. So this is 8 years ago. We're getting ready to focus to have my kid. Like, hey, let's have his son. I've been married for 6 years now. So I tell my wife, like, all right, man, let's lock in. Let's lock in the business so we can focus on our family now. So we are passing the youth to some of the leaders that we have. And the very last event we were doing at the church, man, my wife got into it with the pastor's wife, man, and it was like, we got kicked out the church, bro. It's crazy, man.
Got the boot.
So what I understood then, because I was already asking questions, there's something missing here. Like, I get it, man. We here, we receive it, but there's something missing in the church, because people kept coming with the same issues, per se. And then, like, man, something is missing. So then I started, just curiosity. Like, how do you read your mind? And I studied holistic emotional intelligence. So I went to school to become a coach as a holistic emotion. And I realized that there's 8 areas that holistically we should be working on. Number 1, intellectually, individually, mentally, emotionally, socially, financially, and spiritually.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing one. I feel like I missed one.
That was like 7.
Right. I feel like I missed one.
That's cool.
But the point is, there's 8 different areas that we should be working on to be the best representative as a whole.
Yeah.
So discovering that, when I understood that the issue that happened in the church was really a misunderstanding. And most people, that's the struggle. Yeah. When you don't understand something, my son now, I tell him, if he's complaining or whining, that means that he's not understanding something. He has a question. But we don't want to ask questions. Yeah. We too prideful to ask questions, man. Yeah. But once I understood that, man, that began to dive in, and I went deep into, man, Chinese medicine and the chakra and all kinds of stuff, man. I remember performing, maybe like 2 years later, somebody called me up to perform at the Christian Music and Film Festival. I had no music out, nothing new. I'm transitioning from doing Christian music to doing conscious music. I'm calling it now. And she's like, no, listen, I'm feel like God telling me that. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna show up. And I pulled up to the festival, man, and I performed a few songs there, English and Spanish. And when I got off the stage, this pastor from Atlanta comes in. She's like, brother, you have no clue what you're talking about. Oh my God, this is so loud. What's your address? And she sent me a book called The Consciousness of Now from a pastor from Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
And that book, bro, it aligned everything that I learned over there back to the Bible.
That's dope.
And I was like, oh, this always been here. That's crazy. So then that's kind of where I came back in the sense of, you know, if I stopped looking whatever I thought I was looking for, and it came back into the gospel. I'm like, oh man, it's been here all the time, man. So then, you know, a few years later, that's when the business showed up, you know, Modern Missionary Solutions. You know, we here to serve modern missionaries, man.
So many questions. Go, were you still going?
No, we got
so many questions. I got so many questions because I want to go back to being kicked out of the church, right? So to this place where we come as you are, open up. How was that being kicked out of the church? How did that feel? Where were you at then?
We had a youth for on fire, kids. It was just crazy to even for some of my leaders to experience that because we was all at this event. So it was a painful experience, man. Almost like an abandonment, you know, per se. But I thank God that it happened, man. Because before then, I used to I would meet people who've been in the gospel, and then years later, oh yeah, I was this, I was that. But now they live like as they never did it. And I'm like, man, how does that happen? Yeah. So it was like you had to go through this, like, oh, this is how it happens. You know what I mean? By men, you know, and it was beautiful, man. A beautiful experience, man. After that, we was like, what you call this, like a free agent. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you got all these churches like, oh, come this way, come that. Like, nah, I don't want to serve anywhere. Like, I'm you know, for a season, I feel like a lion in a cage because while we like figuring out where we're gonna go and what we're going to do, I go outside and start doing what God's calling me to do. Yeah, I don't like why wait till once a year to feed someone. I'll feed them right now. You know what I mean? Like why wait to sick? So it pushed me to really go into like, man, let me really serve people to the degree that God is calling me to serve without having anyone. And now obviously slowly coming back in, you know, it's been a beautiful journey, man, because again, we're able to help people. Most people in the church have been hurt by a Christian, man.
Yeah, by church. I love it, even in your journey. So I love that you shared your journey, but then said it came back to the Bible. Yeah. What confirmation did you get when you landed back to that?
Oh, man, a bunch of them. Jesus, a bunch of them, man. Just nowadays, man, just how many Christ followers are being tormented, man, by their own thoughts. You know what I mean? I don't want to make it all spiritual stuff. But the point is, man, that again, we go to church on a daily basis. We listen to the service on Sunday, and we have an amazing experience on Sunday. But then it's like once we leave, we focus on where lunch at, and after lunch, it's like, all right, cool, we'll be back to work. Yeah. When it's like, no, it should be a lifestyle. Yeah. But I see that a lot, man. It hurts. But I'm like, man, you like what the Bible says that do you believe it or not? Like, do you trust or not? You know what I mean? Do all things work together or not? Right. So that's kind of my challenge with the church.
I got it. And now even what you that's good stuff, bro. You're cooking. And even when you think about what you said you do today, if we can even go back to that and we talk about like a lot of people focus on what they don't have. And I think that's kind of mentality of a lot of Christians or anybody, right? If we could go to abundance, and what you're teaching, and how are you teaching people to see the abundance and what they have going on?
Abundance, man. Abundance is always around, man. Again, most people are in the illusion of money. You know, I think they get governed by that. And I think in these last 15 years, man, I got 7 cars for free.
7 cars?
Yeah.
Vehicles
in different stages of my life, man. But it's like, yo, God told me that. Like, all right, but it's great.
I need some of that. Shake my hand, brother. Might get me a car.
to the very last one that I got now, man, I got a BMW with 2000 that I'm restoring right now, and that's all been abundance. The car was free. The mechanical work, like all that's been extremely cheap, man, because of the connection or relationship that I built with this mechanic, who I've been able to work with as well. And I was just going to fix one thing, and I was like, man, one of these days I want to remodel this thing and make it an antique, that antique phase. Like, let's do it. I'm like, what you mean? Like, I got the bread right now. He's like, nah, bro, don't worry about it. And I'm like, all right. And then he gave me a deal. So right now I'm getting this whole like a car show.
Pimp my ride.
Yeah, literally, man. Literally from out in, paint out interior, system, TV, the whole thing, bro.
Exhibit.
So again, most people think abundance is a monetary thing, but it's this opportunity that I believe abundance really comes through relationships.
Yeah.
And the people you connect with, that's how I got to Africa. You know what I mean? Like it was, I did one thing and that led to another thing and that led me to. So I think abundance really is always available. We just not paying attention to it because we're so distracted by lack.
For sure. Entrepreneurship, right? So this is something you've been an entrepreneur for 15 years. That's a big deal. That's not nothing neat because usually most people get in, go back and get this money. It's 9 to 5 because it's not working out. So obviously I want to get into what it's allowed you to be 15, but even more so, what led you to entrepreneurship? What made you say, I want to create my own path?
Man, I not conform to the pattern of this world, man. That's pretty much it, man. I grew up with a pops. I grew up with both pops and moms, man. But pops had to work a lot. Mom had to work a lot. My grandma pretty much raised me in Puerto Rico. Then we moved here. Mom doesn't work anymore because she doesn't know the language. So she goes from being a professional to housekeeping type of thing. Pops always out grinding, doing what he need to do for his kids, which is dope. But then that led me to be out and about doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I don't want that to happen to my kids, man. And I believe in family. So I'm like, man, what do I need to do to establish, my time with my family and how I can homeschool my kids? The best thing to that was entrepreneurship. So I went through, I've done all kinds of businesses, man, all kinds of businesses, man, all the way to now, understanding, what the world is like and how we work from home.
Yeah.
So I really established all my business to where it doesn't matter if I'm here, if I'm wherever part of the country I'm at, that I can still get paid and still be able to work, still be able to serve. So that's kind of been my aim, and that's all my attention has went to learning these type of tools, man.
Yeah. Side note that came in, but you said it a couple times. You said you homeschooled your kids like 2 times. What went into that decision? Why did you move your kids to being homeschooled?
Well, we never really moved them. We started homeschooling from the gate.
Okay. So why though?
Man, I go to schools and I see what's happening with these kids, man.
Yeah.
Even Christian schools.
Yeah.
There's some stuff happening in there that they're being influenced, obviously, and and again, it's not really to control the kids, but it's really to give them the best opportunities possible. You know what I mean? My 8-year-old is a creative genius. This guy does Lego stop motion, stuff that most kids don't even have a clue about, and I believe because we put them in those positions. I seen a time where I put 4 videos on YouTube. I put 4 videos of a movie maker. By the 4th video, he's like, let's make a movie. All right, it's good. So I help him out, and we got a little short film for him. Right?
That's cool.
So same thing with Lego. I was like, I wonder if this kid could pick up Lego stop motion. Put these videos, and I intentionally put some videos up.
That's dope.
6 videos later, he's like, yo, can I borrow your phone? Like, what you? We'll do a stop motion. Like, all right, you do your thing. So I mean, it's really being intentional and equipping him.
Yeah.
Or my daughter now, just noticing the difference in the lack of really parents being there because of the constant hustle. I'm going to work, leaving, dropping them off, and then fighting with the kids that you don't know where they picked this thing up. And like, look, we kind of did that too.
Exactly. Come out this out. And it's funny I asked you that, man, because we're doing something cool down here. I'm not familiar with it with Cut Different Academy, right? So a private school, right, for young boys. So, we say 2 questions that we're going to help them answer is who am I and where am I going, right? Creating a clear path to success for our young boys so they can understand. Too many times our kids are going through it. School, right, where they're supposed to be getting educated, they just going there to memorization, and they're not really having a plan for success for themselves. And even when a big thing you said, family alignment, right? Yeah. You have a lot of parents that aren't engaged in their child's education, right? At our school, there will be a requirement. You have to come to monthly parent meetings. You have to have buy-in in the school, right? Coming in and having an onboarding process where we have to look you in the eye like, hey, you have to come volunteer, do all these different things. But again, making it more about the family, right? We always say there's a bridge between home. It's a family. This is a team effort, right? From home to school to the child to the parent to the teacher. Like we're all a team, but more so it's always an us versus them mentality, and we got to get back.
That's good, man. That's good. Salute for that, brother.
I appreciate you, but shameless plug. But anywho,
that's good, man. That's good.
Anywho, going back to your story, brother. When we think about what you do, you work with different industries, right? So you're helping people figure out abundance and all these different things. Like, how do you choose where your energy goes, right? Can anybody just come up and say, hey, I need you? Or how do you decipher, like, I'm going to work with this person, I'm not going to work with this person?
No, not anybody can, man. I'm at a point. Praise God, I'm at a point where I get to pick and choose per se. But it's more of a feeling, man. You could tell who's who.
Yeah.
And where their heart is at. And again, there's a reason why I call them modern missionary. Even that will repel some people. Like, oh, is this a church thing? Like, it's not. But I'm looking for modern missionary. That's what I'm looking to serve.
Yeah.
And then most of my stuff, again, I don't even promote none of my stuff, to be honest, man. Most of my stuff is just word of mouth and I should like to say, and that's part of abundance. If you show up, and I don't mean like show up online, I mean show up as who you are, as being that person. God brings the right people at the right time. This synchronicity starts to happen, and at the right time, like I had a dentist call me the other day. I had a face of TV. He called me randomly. I said a few things while I was at the dentist. I'm like, yo, man, social media. I said, let's do this content. And then maybe a month, 2 months later, he called me the other day. He's like, hey, man, can we talk about social media? I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. Do I want to work with him? I don't know. We have to have a conversation. Yeah. And then based on your conversation, I know if it's right or not. You know what I mean? And if not, I can refer him to someone.
Yeah. So you break your work down into 4 stages, right?
Yes,
4 total stages. Obviously, I want to give the people the game, right? So if you can break that down, your little secret sauce for us, and just educate the people. So what are those 4 stages?
Man, basically, we start with emotional intelligence and mindset. You know what I mean? I believe that you can want to conquer the world, but if you don't have the mindset for it, if you don't believe it's possible, if you can't see it in your mind as a possible, then it's not really an opportunity for you. So we start, shifting people's mindset first of all. Then after that, what we experience is that then people actually tap into that creativity, and then they start tap. Oh man, I have to do this. So then it's creating offers. What is an offer? What's a lead magnet? What are things that you could do to attract the ideal client? And so then we'll take production and we'll record videos. Take pictures, social media content, whatever we need to do to get that offer and get it into the public. And then we go into social, the website platform, the funnels. So then we do funnels, automation. Now I got AI employees now, which sounds crazy to say, but now I can put an AI employee to answer your phone and act like your rep. Like if you call my business, you're going to hear Tanya. She's my AI representative and she knows exactly everything about my business. So then we implement those things. And then the last part of that is actually converting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where now you have the mindset, you out and you're showing up with an offer, they coming into your funnel, and now we're nurturing those leads into actually conversion, and that's how people have success, man.
Yeah, that is dope. Is there a certain time period that you are in your mind when somebody signs up that we're going to get through this in this amount of time, or do you go with the flow of?
I used to do month to month, but now I think 6 months is a sweet spot, man. But I think a 90-day run is always good. Every quarter, it's a good run to have something solid.
For sure.
But I like 6 months, man. I like the 6 month run really gets you to a beautiful ROI and gets you to show up really to a whole other level.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, so one thing about this space of entrepreneurship, I'm pretty sure everything, the game you just kicked, you took time for you to get to that point, right? Even in being an entrepreneurship myself, there's so many ups and downs and lessons to be learned through it. And I wouldn't change it for a world, but I always say right now, somebody took it away from me right now, I can build it back, right? Because there are times, the things that we learn. What is one of the hardest lessons you learned through this process of entrepreneurship?
It's a lonely game.
Yeah.
It's a lonely game. And it takes a lot of faith, man. It takes a lot of faith to really understand what God established for your life, man, and really go all in, even when nobody's there in your corner, man. But yeah, man, I would say a lot of faith, man, a lot of faith and resilience, man, because nobody might not even believe on anything you have to do, man. But if it didn't work, there's no failure. But if it didn't work for you, it worked on you.
Yeah.
And I think that's been one of the biggest ahas that I had, that if it didn't work like I thought it should have, but then later on, a few years later or a few months later, you'll see how that specific gift tied up to this one made this happen. And oh man, it did work. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It did work, man. So I think just that, man, that resilience and that faith that it's gonna work. If you believe it, man, it's gonna work for you.
I like it. So speaking of gifts, right? You got a gift, man, and this music chain, right?
Music, let's go.
So let's get into this music, right? So I've heard you the first time I heard you over at I forget what the name of the spot was, but Jay's and Johnny's spot, and we had a live thing. You came like, man, this brother is really, really good. You came here today and graced the stage. Bro, you're really, really good.
Nah, thank you, man.
So, but when did you figure this out? Like, when did you figure out that music was your gift?
Man, I was coming out of a church. I think I just got saved, bro. And I was telling God, like, man, I don't just want to be like a typical. I said these 5 things that I wish I could remember that I can never can.
Yeah.
I said these 5. I don't want to be this, or this, or this. And this man called me up, guy from the Philippines. He was there, and he's like, hey, you know, like, God's not only gonna do that. And he named exactly the 5 things. I was like, that's crazy. When I went home, someone told me to grab a beat, grab a notepad, and I just started writing. My first song came out. I called a few homies. They're like, man, I loved it. I started getting invited to churches to perform. And that kind of was like the takeoff. Almost like Paul, the Silas, and like my name, that Jota R was born.
Yeah.
And now I'm like this minister who's going into different churches and stuff like that. And then an experience of anointing came in when I like had someone for the first time. And God did. I was like, yo, this is great. Like, so just going through those experiences, man, all the way to you know, being in movies and Christian films and a bunch of stuff that I didn't really care for or I wasn't looking for. But just because I stepped to this one gift that I always enjoyed music, but I never really sing or rap or anything like that. I was B-boy. I'm a B, you know, I used to dance and always vibe to music. But man, I could see how much it influenced me to where now, you know, I've become very intentional with the pen and what I write, you know, with an intention to, you know, bring some awareness to other people, man.
That's dope, man. You tried to swift past that and be all cool and say, you know, just being in movies and, you know, you tried to throw that in there. So you're a movie star, huh? So you've been in films before.
I would say a movie star, man, but I've been blessed, man, to be partaking some beautiful films, man. I even right now I got a short film out that I'm the guy. It's called The Favor. I said to you, man, dope little short film. We actually shot it here in Ocala in a few different places.
Yeah.
About self-neglect. That was my message, man. So it hit home with me. I was like, such a great message, man. Cause I feel like I've been neglecting myself. I need to drop this bag, which is the film. I give it too much on the film.
Yeah.
It's a 9-minute film, but it speaks so loud, and I barely say anything in the film. Shout out to D'Angelo, man, for shooting the film. Great producer. Yeah. But yeah, man, outside of that, you know, some commercials. But I think my biggest shift or movie role, maybe wasn't even a big role, but it was being in Courageous with the man, I forgot the brother's name right now. From Sherwood Baptist in Atlanta. Okay. In Albany, Georgia. They did Courageous, I don't know, Facing the Giants. I don't know if you've seen any of this movie.
I have not.
Oh yeah, man, check out these brothers, man. I can't believe I forgot their names. I forgot the names, man, but they done they done amazing movies, man. Amazing movie. They started with a low budget, man. I think I remember them praying, and they were like, God, that we can reach. What do you say? We can reach billions because we already reaching millions.
Yeah,
they had the movies in there. American Airlines was playing the movies in the plane. Like these people doing some stuff, man. So yeah, that was a dope experience, man. And it was something that I didn't even look for. The Kendrick brothers. Okay. There you go. Cause I remember Alex Kendrick calling me up. Like, I stopped playing. Like, no, man. Man, and I don't even know how they found me. But thank God, bro. Thank God leads in your direction. So when you think about your lyrics, so the music deal, when you think about this may be hard, and I just out my mind think when you think about what is the like, you know, I think about Lil Wayne, right? You could think about Lil Wayne, you know, I'm a feed me rappers or feed me beats, like just those one lines. Do you have any lines that just stick out to you the most? Like you like, that's my best lyric. No. Or song you can if lyric is hard, you can give me your favorite song. Not really, man. I mean, I got a bunch of different things, man. That are just. I still don't know how to do it. I just hear the beat, man, and I just start writing. But there's a bunch of lines, man, that I could say that are like, oh man, that was good, man. Wow, where'd that come from, man? I think I share one real quick. I ain't gonna let you off the hook. You gotta. I share one all about time, and I say time is either invested well or wasted well. If you don't know what you're doing with it, time will tell. Ooh, I like that. I get it. Yeah. Inhale and exhale and take time to plan things well, so every move you need to make can make sense as well. Yeah. There's no time to conform. It's time to grind and give it all out. It's time to transform, frame and doubt. You need to cut out. Yeah. Remember, after the storm bird chirps, the sun will come out. It's a time to perform, but also time that you could bug out. You need to focus on what you got to do for yourself in the process. Understand you're not alone by yourself. You have people rooting for you, especially people like myself who believe that you can make anything come out of yourself. the cemetery is the richest place that most people will lay down their passion and dreams for anything they never lived out.
Yeah.
Regret's the painful feeling. I hope you never find out. Stop wasting your time and make sure to make the best now.
Yeah, it depends. Hold on, what is that? Just lost. Is that what you just did earlier?
No.
Oh, I thought, okay.
Oh, that's a good one too.
That's a good one. I was thinking that was in there. It sounded familiar, but no, that's fire.
Yeah.
But thinking about, so obviously God is in control, bro. I can see everything that comes out of you. Your music, what sitting down here talking to you, God is in control. You know what I mean? Your God is leading your life. But you took you say you did Christian first, and then you got out and then you turned to the conscious rap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, your earlier life, I'm pretty sure you indulged in hip hop, or I can assume. I can tell you. But what made you make that decision, right? Instead of going with the trends, you could have jumped out and say, I'm a hip hop artist now. But what made you'll go more conscious?
Well, I mean, I never really did secular music like that.
Right.
But I did do Christian music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, beautiful things happened. Beautiful things happened in that season of my life, performing and going different places with that. What I noticed was I just felt like there was something missing, man. There was something missing because, you know, you see people perform. I see many people perform. I know, thank God I know a bunch of artists, man, but then not all of them would kind of stick to what they were, you know, actually saying.
Right.
So then in my world, it was like, man, if the church is hurting and it's easy to come up and I can sing your worship song per se, but it's not really going to shift anything in you, what can I say that will shift if I grab the mic? So then this is where conscious music came about, where it's like, man, I think consciousness is awareness. You know what I mean? When you're conscious about something, is that you have awareness. When you're conscious about God, I mean that you know that God is there with you.
Yeah.
So it was like, man, I don't know if it's a genre, but I would love to start the genre conscious music and get more conscious artists out. You know, it's not no hocus pocus thing. I'm still talking about God, but I mean, I think the approach allows me to not box myself in to the person who doesn't know about God, right? But I say, conscious music, and oh, what is that? And then I hit up with some bars, and man, hey, who?
Yeah.
And then, you know, as they open up, then I'm able to bring the foundation again. Like, look, man, at the end of the day, Christ is the foundation.
Yeah.
So it's been a strategic thing that God allowed me to experience, you know, based on my experience preaching the gospel and having so many people close to it because of the pain they have with a quote-unquote Christian. Yeah. I come in as a conscious artist and I've been in clubs, I've been everywhere with conscious music, and then you'll hear people like, oh man, this man really says
preaching to me.
Preaching
to me. I like
so
it.
It opened a lot of doors.
I like it. So Christ is the foundation.
Absolutely.
I love that, brother. And as you're thinking about music, is usually a foundation for people to go to when they're going through something. Like, as I heard, and hear the impact someone's life, like that's something I can turn to when I may have a down day. For yourself, right? So before I go to you, thinking about people go to music through struggle. So the music you're putting out, people can go to that to get them through. Right. For yourself, thinking about struggles, if you could just imagine all the struggles you went through your life, what are things that helped you get through those times?
Things that helped me get through those times, man. I think this is I think something that I learned is we all gonna go through experiences.
For sure.
There is nothing bad or good that really happens. You determine what it is based on your belief. You know what I mean? Whether it was something good or bad. We could be in the same room, something's happening, and you go look at it from your angle as a bad thing. I look at it from my angle as a right thing. Who's right? Who's wrong? Yeah. So at the end of the day, what if it's just an experience that you're experiencing? You know, whether you qualify as wrong or bad, good or bad. But we all go through experiences. But every experience is meant to bring you some awareness for what? To heal, so you can grow, and then that turns into your purpose.
Yeah.
You know, we all go through stuff, but there's especially trigger. We get triggered a lot, right? But the triggers is really now I get it. It's an indicator that God wants to speak to you. God wants to reveal something to you, to heal to you. So when I go through my pains and aches, man, I quickly go inwards and I say, man, Lord, why are you showing me this? You know, I remember being with an officer. This movie I was in, Courageous, was about officers and fatherhood. 10 years later, a lieutenant from Lake Wells hits me up. Hey, this what I like, lieutenant. I'm like, oh snap, what I do? Like, nah, chill. Listen, I got your number from a tattoo artist back in the day that I like. And the next day I went to Lake Wells and he introduced me to like 7 principles the city major, all these people. Fast forward, the question for him, he asked me was like, how do we impact this community? Like, 4 meetings later, within a month, we met 4 times with like 4-hour meetings. I met some beautiful people. I got some documentaries that I did over there with a few other great folks, Legacy Housing, all that's from Lake Wells. And I remember the very last meeting I had with him, you know, we just came off of school. God gives me a vision, finally, how to impact this community. And I told him the vision. I mean, that was at 9:30 in the morning. By 12 o'clock, I'm in the superintendent's office, telling him the same exact vision that I don't even know how I told you earlier, but I'm like, I'm gonna try to tell you. I'm explaining this thing to him, and we hear a gunshot, man, and I ended up witnessing a suicide case, man. And the first car that parks, I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, God, why you got me? Why? You know, sure enough. But again, I go inwards and I'm like, okay, God, what are you trying to show me with this? And I went online, like, man, anybody thinking about suicide? I mean, that week was nothing but suicide cases that I was able to deal with that I would not be paying attention to.
Yeah.
You know, and that goes back to awareness. Like when you buy a new car, you come out the lot, you see that car everywhere. Those cars, they've always been there. It's just you ain't paying attention to them.
Yeah.
So this is what awareness does to me. When I go through a pain, or anybody's going through pain, man, like look at it as God's trying to reveal something as an indicator that he wants to reveal something in you so you can heal, grow, so you can make it into a purpose. And then whether you use it as a testimony, your mess becomes your message, or your testimony, whether you use it as a testimony for your personal, you know, God's serving and whatever the case may be, or you can use that as a business. Like God would turn your passion, your experiences and your pain into you know, what you, I'm sure everything that has been birthed or cut different has been because of a pain you felt that now it creates solutions for others.
For sure. Now you're right on, brother. As you're talking too, I'm thinking about it because again, I love it. Obviously, a lot, everything goes back to God with you, but we always get back to awareness and we always get back to creativity as well. And thinking about that, one thing I was thinking, like, what daily practices do you do or do you have that helps you stay grounded in awareness and creativity?
Yeah, beautiful, man. That's a good question, man. And I think intentionality is huge for me. There's 3 words that come to mind: intentional, energetic, and grateful. Intentional with myself, like, you know, when I wake up, how can I be intentional? If I have an hour, you know, I'm up, but I don't really have nothing to do right now. I don't have my first meeting this morning, per se. My first meeting was at 9:30. But I'm up at 7. I'm like, all right, cool. I got 7 o'clock. What am I going to do now? So I intentionally pick up a book. I intentionally feed myself. That gives me good energy. That's the second word, energetic. And then it allows me to be grateful.
Yeah.
Intentional, energetic, and grateful. And then when I do get in a meeting, it's like, how can I be intentional, energetic, and grateful with this meeting? So I'm going to become a good listener. I'm conditioning to listen to this business owner who's been dealing with some sickness. How are you? Forget business. How are you doing?
Yeah.
This, I'm that. Okay, cool. Now let's talk about business. And then that creates good energy with her. And then when we get off the Zoom call, the video call, she's grateful for the conversation that we have, for the results that we're getting. And I'm grateful for as well for the conversation that we have and for the opportunity of the new proposal that I got to create now. So that's kind of been my thing, man. Even whether it's marriage, parenting, and in all areas in the same scenario, man. Like they are all indicators. There's nothing wrong. There's a reason why you're going through this stuff, and it's God wants to reveal something inside of you, so that you can heal, grow, turn that into purpose. Once you find the wall again, heal. Listen. First of all, listen so you can heal, grow, purpose. Wall. Listen, heal, grow, purpose, and then it comes that.
I love that you put the wall in there, right? Because the wall is going to come.
It's going to come.
It's guaranteed.
It's inevitable. You're not. Yeah, it's inevitable.
So when you think about that wall, right? So many people turn back when they hit that wall.
Yeah.
They get discouraged. I can't do it no more. They just give up. Why? Like, why are people giving up, man?
Man. Yeah. I almost want to say that they're used to pain. We're I don't want to say accustomed, man, but we're emotional beings, man. We do stuff because we feel like it. If you don't feel like it, you ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, man, we've been through so much that it's easier for us to disconnect and let me watch Netflix. You know what? Forget it. I'm not even gonna try it, man. I'm good, man. Where I say, you know, when that brick wall shows up, man, you know, that means that you're that closer to the blessing. Yeah. And you just gotta, you know, break through, jump on it, crawl it, whatever it is you need to do. You know what? A lot of times, forget the breakthrough and the crawling and all that stuff, man. Just be still.
Yeah.
That, to be honest, man, because I feel like most people then the opposite of turning it off and be like, you know what? Forget it. The wall's here. I'm going the other way. The opposite is trying to push through the wall, and then you become a doer. Right, so you start doing stuff. I'm gonna control this. I'm gonna try to figure this out. I'm gonna go, and you're going. It's like you swimming against the current, man. But now what I know is like, just be still, bro. Be still, man. Like God has a perfect plan, brother. Yeah. But be still, not just to be still to listen on what He wants to reveal inside of you. That's gonna make you that person to then have if you can't manage what's happening now, and you're not gonna manage, if you can't manage $100 now, you ain't gonna manage 1,000. If you can manage 1,000, you're not gonna manage 10. If you can manage 10, you're gonna manage 100. You know what I mean? Yeah. So all that is molding you and shaping you to become that person, instead of that doer, but to be.
Well, you cooking, brother, man. We might need to get this brother a podium or something, man. But nah, brother, man, you got a lot of good stuff in you, brother. And I really, even just sitting here listening to you, man, I know God, like I keep saying, God is directing your path, brother. And it's up to us to be obedient, right? One of the biggest things, and even how we get here, you mentioned that we cut different. I switch to obedience, right? Yeah. Young man, sports athlete, you'll go get it. I see something I want, I go get it. I go get it until that go get and stop getting. And how you keep bumping your head, you're hitting that wall. And once you hit that wall so much, you had to pause. And you know what I mean? And I literally said these words. I was like, God, you take control. What do you want for my life? Yeah. And that leads us here. To this conversation, brother. And I think, for our viewers, man, if you can be obedient, right? The obedience is what's coming out.
Better said than done, man. Yeah. But it's possible.
It's possible. You can do it. Right. Now, even if thinking about obedience, right? As we wrapping up, if you can give one, and I know it's hard because you're giving a lot of game, brother. I know you got something in you, right? But if you can get one set of principles, that people can walk away, or that you would want them to walk away with, what would that be? Like, man, this is what you need from me.
Man, it falls back to this methodology, man, that I'll say God bless me with, man, the impact methodology. And I identify your purpose and value. And that means in whatever situation it is, man, whether it's parenting, identify your purpose and value in that specific time. If it's a business meeting, identify your purpose and value. If it's with marriage, whatever it is, identify your purpose and value for that specific thing. The M, master emotional intelligence. That's the site. That's what causes you to get distracted. So identify your purpose and value. M for master emotional intelligence. P for practice mindfulness. Be still. Be still, man. Practice to be still, to breathe. ABCs. Awareness, breathing, and choice. Like you choose how so be still, practice mindfulness. The A, so then you could act intentionally. If you're able to manage emotions, practice mindfulness, now you're able to listen and act intentionally, right? Most people do unimportant things well, and they make it more important when they're not. Yeah. And then C, so you could connect with divine guidance. At the end of the day, everything we're going through, all the painful stuff, all the good stuff, God wants to reveal some more stuff in you. So I go through the identify purpose and value, master emotional intelligence, practice mindfulness, act intentionally, and connecting with God. So then you could transform life, business, wherever you apply that formula, it works. So that's what my book's about, man. That kind of a plug as well. But it's really that, man. Like you hear the impact someone's life, and everything that we're going through is for that. Yeah. It's not for your own personal satisfaction, man. Like God wants you to impact your kids. He wants you to impact your marriage. He wants you to impact your community. He wants you to impact your, whatever it is you're doing, he wants you to be that light here, so
I love
impact, man.
Impact, I love it, brother. It's been a blessing, brother, to sit down with you for sure. So I know you say shameless plug, but man, plug it in. I want you to get the people where they can find you, where they can find a book, where they can find everything you got going on. Look into that camera, to the red phone, and let them know where they can find you.
So first of all, Instagram is Modern Missionaries, simple as that. Website, The Modern Missionaries. That's my website for my community, coaching. I got a clarity call, a bunch of other things there, coaching as well. The book, impactmovesbook.com. You can find the book. I actually have a bundle. It's a book. Every chapter has a song. And then I have the audiobook as well. So there's a whole bundle that I have for you guys there. Yeah, man. And business owners, hit me up. And the same thing, the modernmissionaries.com/AI. Those are my AI employees, man. If you need some help with the business, man, I got some employees that they don't sleep, they don't get tired, they don't complain.
I love it.
Yeah, it's crazy now.
I love it, man. So, man, I appreciate you again, man. But what I need you all to do, right? We just dropped so much game, man. We have to start flooding these comment sections, right? What did you get from this episode? You just sat here for an hour. I don't know how long we've been here, but you got something from it. Give us one takeaway you took away from this episode. We're going to put all the links you need to be able to get at Jose, man, to get the stuff he got going on. But it's been truly a blessing, man, and you hit the impact someone's life, right?
Yeah, man.
We started with it and we're going to end with it. You hear the impact someone's life. And well, we actually got some other party waiting on you. Just give me a take. But when we get there, like, subscribe, and comment. All right, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. By the time this episode come out, we might be October the 11th. We have our Legacy Run 5K, making sure y'all tapping in and coming down for our Legacy Run 5K. Cut Different Academy, man. Make sure you scan that. We're investing in the future. That's going to change the world, man. So make sure y'all tap it in with everything we got going on. Brother, I do want to do this, right? Because I want you to do two things for me. We're going to end it with you. We're going to end it. I want you, because I'm all about the youth. I tell people all the time, man, I'm all about investing in the future, right? You can talk to the creators of now, but I want you to talk to the creators of the future, right? Yeah. If you could say anything to the creators of the future, what would you say to us? So I want you to say that to inspire them, but then also, give us a little a plug into what the people about to hear when this episode go off.
I hit them with a verse real quick.
Okay, I love it. Yeah.
So this is a secret sauce, something that I did that I encourage you to do. I stopped living my life making up stories. They had me feeling lonely with worry, missing the glory. I did an inventory of my thoughts and categories that were holding me back. Now I realized they were working for me. Once I accepted the present, I feel like I open a present with any thought that will come up, whether good or bad. I feel I'm bringing my essence. I stay connected to presence. I stay walking in acceptance. I stay looking out for hidden opportunities that could turn into a blessing. Ego, you can have that. Fear, better stay back. Illusion of money, we passed that. Living in fulfillment, we got that. From negativity, we stay back. Even if it finds us, we lay back. Being in the present is a life hack to remove all the illusions and fight back.
I love that. Living in the present is a life hack. I appreciate you, brother. So tell them about what they about to hear.
This is his last song to get out of here, man. It's called Heartbeat, man. And again, I just want to inspire you, man. Inspire you to just feel your heartbeat, man. Like, listen to your heartbeat. God has given you directions, unique directions for you specifically on what's next, what's available for you. And the more present you can be, as I said earlier, man, the more present, the more you can hear your heartbeat, and the more you can be obedient to the things that God is revealing to you and to you alone, because you're not saying it to anybody else. That's why nobody can understand you. Yeah. You feel like nobody can understand you, but it's because he's telling you. He ain't telling me, he's telling you. Yeah. So this song is called Heartbeat, man, and I'll leave you guys with that.
I love it. Let's go, man. God is the greatest. See y'all next time.
Be blessed. Yes, sir.
Every time you think you won and you made it, without having your heart involved, the success you have delayed.
Yeah. Every heart has a different pace, a different emotion, a different beat, a different shape, a long desire to be connected and embraced, to hear the wounds and the brokenness they had to face. If you're listening now, it's cause it's still beating. It don't deserve to be shamed, punished, or mistreated. It has plans for you, and every day it will repeat it until you stop the battle in your mind and get committed. This ain't the end of you now. It's time to connect with your heart and not with who you're around. Your heart is speaking to you daily. Stop putting it down. The disconnection has to confuse and living with doubt. Even with all the battles, it still survive those. Stop acting like you don't hear it, treating it like a rival. It hates to see you living your life in full survival. It's more than still connected to God and have revival.
Every time you think you won and you made it, without having your heart involved, the success you have delayed it.
So the question I have for you, can you feel your heartbeat? Are you able to feel your heartbeat? And can you feel your heartbeat? Are you able to hear what God is speaking to you? Can you feel your heartbeat? Yeah. Can you feel your heartbeat? Listen, I'm gonna tell you a secret real quick, man. I hope you take it with you. This magic when you surrender, your heart comes with a direct line from you to sender. He sent you with a purpose and roadmap for you to follow. The heart is hollow, for some that might be hard to swallow. There's no tomorrow, just a now for you to borrow. Make the best of time to connect and avoid the sorrow. I remind you, this is your real life. It's not a game. Many got it confused. It's not about money and fame. It's about connection with higher self and self-reflection. Be aware of your distractions and avoid money deflection. The one thing you control is where you put all your attention. When you focus on the goal, that's a secret I had to mention. Fear comes from the mind, love comes from the heart. If you feel it and connect, the way your life will evolve. You will see your next chapter like a unique piece of art, with a desire for fulfillment that will take you real far, yeah. And every time you think you won, and you made it. Yeah. Without having your heart involved, with success you have delayed it. So the question that I have for you again is, can you feel your heartbeat? And can you feel your heartbeat? And can you feel your heartbeat? Can you feel your heartbeat? And can you feel your heartbeat? Listen, connecting to your heart, also known as intuition, must be the first connecting you do with yourself. Then you'll be able to give yourself the time and permission to connect with God. It's not about what you accomplish or gain in this life. It's about the journey, about being, about who you become lately, and what legacy you leave behind. We're past getting excited with what God is doing. We're in a time where we make God excited with what we do. Make the best of time. Feel your heartbeat. It's giving you your unique steps to your unique treasure. Live the real life. Jota R music. God bless you guys. Feel your heartbeat. Yeah, hey. Yeah.